Hello, this is Julian with Coffee Reviews, and today we will be discussing the El Encantazo #1 Natural Processed Colombia from Friedhats. And there's the bottle right there. So, a couple quick things before we discuss this coffee. This is the first time I've ever tried Friedhats, and I have not talked about Friedhats on this channel before, so brief bit about them. Of course, they're out of Amsterdam in the Netherlands. First time I ever saw them was at a multi-roaster up in Vancouver, and I made a note of them because, as you can see, they have probably the most unique packaging I have ever seen in my entire life. When I found out a multi-roaster in Seattle was going to be carrying them, took a look on their website, really wanted to try their El Salvador. Ethiopia sounded good, but the only two coffees they had in store was this Natural Colombia and a Kenya. I was just leaning towards the Natural Colombia. It sounded a little bit more like my type of coffee. But two things I really wanted to note about just random coffee things in general before we talk about this coffee. I really love the design of their packaging because it actually makes it really easy to pour out and measure as opposed to some other bags and stuff people use as their coffee holders or coffee products. So kudos to Friedhats for that. And one of the more obscure things, I love the color of ground coffee beans from the Netherlands. Between Friedhats and Manhattan, it's got this really bright kind of brown yellowish color that looks so pretty when you make that first pour for the bloom over it. It's really, really pretty, and I think coffee people will know what I'm talking about when I say that, so I guess that's a weird little like of mine when it comes to the Dutch coffee roasters. So right here is day 18, and I'm going to take a look at my notes. Alright, day 12, which is when I got the coffee, and I was happy because it was shipped overseas, so straight up caramel, nothing overly notable on the first day. Day 13, deep stone fruit plum flavor, quite a bit of caramel and some nuttiness to it as well. Day 15, I put it through the cone filter, and it brought out a lot of the heavy stone fruits and chocolate, but I wasn't particularly into the coffee. And day 16, this was kind of weird, some black licorice and stone fruits and some bitterness coming from the black licorice. I really hope that I'm not the only one that tasted black licorice from this coffee, because I can't help but feel, even as I'm drinking this on day 18, I get black licorice. I taste black licorice. Let me go ahead and pull up the tasting wheel so you can see what else I was getting. Of course, the stone fruits is the highest thing on here. Pretty well balanced other than that. Decent cleanliness, decent sweetness, a nice lingering finish. The bitterness that I noted on here was from the licorice. The coffee itself wasn't like a bitter coffee taste, but rather that of the licorice. And of course the caramel and the chocolate high. When I first started drinking this coffee today, I got a very nice milk chocolate taste from it. So of course I'll be completely honest about this. I think I got this coffee wrong. I don't think I ever figured out how to dial in this coffee correctly, and I've seen some other people have some issues with figuring out Friedhats coffee, and given the difference from what I was tasting to the flavor profile listed on here, I mean, I could see apricot, but I wasn't getting as much apricots. I was getting, I could definitely get the plum and the caramel, and even some chocolate, but I think I was just missing this coffee. I couldn't get it right. I couldn't figure it out no matter what I tried or no matter how I worked out this coffee. It just wasn't my preference. And I definitely think people that do love their plums, that's who I'm going to recommend this coffee to. And this is extremely plum forward, so this is your coffee. People that like the caramel too, and even people that like black licorice, this is worth trying. It's definitely on the lighter side of the profile for roasts. I really don't know how to kind of end this coffee. I'm going to try more Friedhats in the future. I just feel like this wasn't my go-to coffee. If I would have had the Ethiopia, or if I would have had the El Salvador, which I really wanted, then those two probably would have knocked it out of the park. I can see how much potential and how good their coffee can be. Just every so often you get a coffee that isn't the type of taste or flavor that you enjoy, and that's the case with this coffee. I'll just leave it at that. If you have tried this coffee, Please let me know what you thought, and definitely let me know if you can see black licorice from this, or if it's just me being weird and tasting something that's not actually there. If you're enjoying the content, give this video a like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. But this right here has been a review of the El Encantazo Natural Processed Colombia from Friedhats. Thank you for watching.